first specify the login URL. So I copy this statement and paste it here. Now change the variable name into login URL, and change the PHP script name into login.php. Now go to the doInBackground method. Here we have to check another condition. So else if method dot equals login. In this case, we have to pass the email and password to server and get a response from server. If the response is positive, we have to display another activity. We have to display home activity. Otherwise, we have to display an alert dialog. So I copy this statement, paste it here, and change the variable into login URL. Here add some try catch block. Now we have to establish HTTP URL connection. We have to set the parameters for HTTP URL connection. We need output stream, we need buffered writer. Okay, I copy statement up to here and put it here. Of course, here we have to add the needed catch clause. Okay, now we have to get the data. Here two data, email and password. So email and password. Now get the data, email, params of 1. Now password, params of 2. Now we have to encode this data. So I copied this string variable, string data, and paste it here. Now change this one into email, and here the data is email, and change second variable identifier into password, and here the data is password. There is no need of this statement, so I remove this statement. Okay, now we have to write that information. So buffered writer dot write, we have to flush buffered writer, we have to close the buffered writer, and we can close the output stream. So I copy these statements and paste it here. Now we have to get the response from server. The response is in the form of a JSON, and we have to decode that JSON. We have to get the code and message from server. So the code segments are similar. We already done it on the registration segment. So now I am going to copy that statements. So I copy the statements up to the return statement. Okay, and paste it here. There is no change here. Here only we have to add the needed catch clause, because here we sleep the background thread for some milliseconds. So here you have to add the needed catch clause. So add the needed catch clause. Okay, and from here we return the string builder in the form of a normal string. Okay, now go to the onPost execute method. Here we have to check some condition. Else if code dot equals login true. In that case, we have to display the success activity. So in this case, we have to start the home activity. So we have to declare some intent variable. So intent equal to new intent. We have to specify the activity. Now we have to specify the target activity. Here the target activity is home activity. So home activity dot class. Now we have to attach message from server to the intent. So intent dot put extra with identifier message and pass message from server. Finally, we can start the activity. So activity.start activity and pass the intent. This will start the home activity. So now open activity home.xml. So in that layout, there is only one text view is present with identifier welcome txt. So now I am going to display the message from server using this text view. So now open home activity.java file. So here we have to declare some text view variables. So text view. Now initialize that variable. So text view, find it, typecast that one into text view. Now find it, r.id. welcome txt. Now get message from the intent. So string message. So get intent dot get string extra with identifier message. Now set the message on the text view. So text view dot set to text and pass the message. Okay, so close this one and close the layout file. So if the login is success, we display another activity and display message from server. Otherwise, that means login failed, we have to display an alert dialog. So else if code dot equals login false. In that case, we have to display an alert dialog. So I simply call the method called show dialog. Now this is the title for the alert dialog. So here the title is login error and pass message and code. Now go to the show dialog method. So here also we have to check some condition. So else if code dot equals login false. In that case, if the login failed, first thing we have to reset the email and password field available on the login form. So we have to access the edit email and password edit text inside the background task.java. So here we have to create some variables for edit text, email and password. Okay, now we have to initialize these variables. So first one is email, and you can use the activity dot find the view by id r dot id dot email, and you have to typecast this one into edit text. Now I copy this statement. Now the second variable is password, and here the id is password. So first we have to reset email and password. So email dot set to text, make it empty. Now set password dot set to text, make it empty. And finally so first thing we have to start the alert dialog. So builder dot set message and set the message for the builder. Now set the positive button for builder, set positive button, OK, and now specify the click listener. So we have to remove these statements. We have to remove this statement and put it here. Okay, so whenever user click the OK button on the alert dialog, it will reset the email field and password field. And finally, we have to close the dialog. So dialog dot dismiss. So now we have to display the alert dialog. So I just cut these statements from here and put it here. Now we can test the application. Okay, now we can run the application. So run it. Select a virtual device. Okay, now the application available on this virtual device. So first here I'm going to add a new user. So open up the registration form. Now add a new user, Thomas, and specify an email address, thomas@abc.com. Now specify some password 123. Now confirm that password 123. Now click register. Okay, now it shows registration success. Now open the database. Here is the table and browse the table. Okay, now a user is added to the database with the name Thomas, email and password. So now I'm trying to log in with this information. So now I try to log in without filling email or password. So now it shows an alert dialog. You have to check your inputs. Okay, now I enter the email thomas@abc.com. Now I enter some wrong password and try to log in. Okay, it shows that login failed and try again. This is the response from server. So when you click the OK button, it will reset email and password field. Now enter the correct data. So thomas@abc.com. Now enter the correct password 123, and try to log in. Yeah, here the app is crashes. Try to log in again. Okay, now it display the success page, login success, and display the welcome message, and here it will display the username. So now we finished the login section of the application. I hope you understand the concepts. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.